Hey man, it's actually the middle of the night right now. It's like 2, I don't know. Let me check if I may. Okay, I think it's like 2:20 or something a.m. And of course everybody is asleep at my place, so I'm trying not to be noisy or anything, but I've never had such a strong urge to grab a Bible in my entire life probably, so I thought it might be a good idea to actually record this. Um, I've been wanting to just read Psalms, just read the whole book of it because I've never actually did, and since I've had this urge to read it, just so I can write some poetry in it, not exactly like any sort of real like Christian poems or anything, but I just have this draft of a poem, of a little poem that just starts with some description of the I've been working this one beautiful day. I think it was somewhere around like 2 weeks ago or so, and I just started with the description of the clouds and stuff like that, and then it comes down to this deserted valley where the winds blowing and taking away the people to a better place, taking away dying people to a better place, the place that is better than any sort of uh, empires combined there on earth and stuff like that. And I thought that it might be a good idea to read Psalms for some reason, for some inspiration and for the good of the poem itself. And but I first got an urge to read some Psalms and do it outdoors. Even I can do this right now because again it's the middle of the night. I actually have to wake up at like 8 tomorrow or today because I have some classes in the morning. But I've wanted, I have, I don't know how to put it correctly, but I mean I wanted to read some Psalms since I saw this video by Malcolm Guide. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but he's this author, a writer, a poet on YouTube. You can find him, and he's a beautiful gentleman, beautiful British English gentleman who's in his study, surrounded by books, smoking pipes, and talking about Tolkien and about you know mostly I'm watching his Tolkien videos, but again he has this video poetry of Psalms, and I've watched it, and it kind of, since then I'm kind of, hey, he was talking about that he was going on walks during like COVID shit, like whatever, and going on walks and reading hymns to God, songs about God from the Bible, outside, so there is no walls surrounding him, no ceiling above him, so he's actually referring to the skies. So let me just go through maybe some of it. I've never read it. I've only read like this first one just now, and then I thought it might be a good idea to record me reading them. Just because again, whenever I haven't read any Bible in a real while now. I don't remember the last time I read Bible. I think the last time I read it was from my phone, or maybe not, maybe it was from this. It's actually a gift. I don't know if you can see it properly. The lighting is very, very bad now, but excuse me for it. I don't want to do any sort of setups. It's just my lamp. Over there you can see some sunlight from it. And yeah, I have this Good News Bible in English, a gift from my teacher, from my tutor, who has been, this is, I think, one of the, if not the only, real, like, genius, real high intellectual person, the only one that I've ever met in my life. Beautiful, beautiful lady who taught me English and other languages, but I only stuck, I only stuck with English. But anyway, let's carry on and read some of it, just to calm down a bit and to fall asleep, meditating a bit. So the first one here is titled True Happiness. Let me get a bit closer so you can actually hear me. I hope the audio, I hope you hear me all right, at least. Happy are those who reject the advice of evil men, who do not follow the example of sinners, or join those who has no use for God. Instead, they find joy in obeying the law of the Lord, and they study it day and night. They are like trees that grow beside a stream, that bear fruit at the right time, and whose leaves do not dry up. They succeed in everything they do. But evil men are not like this at all. They are like straw that the wind blows away. Sinners will be condemned by God and kept apart from God's own people. The righteous are guided and protected by the Lord, but the evil are on the way to their doom. And that's a simple one, I think. It's like, recently, this very week, or the last week actually, I got this thought that maybe, I thought of why there are bad people, evil people, stupid people, succeeding in life, and maybe even, having big families and, making money and stuff like that. And actually, succeeding in the current system, in the economical way and whatever, in the politics, we can say it, I think. But then good people are not really making money, they're not really, sometimes they don't even have families, they do not, carry on their genes and stuff like that, or sometimes they die sooner. But quote unquote bad people, they carry on and they live long lives and stuff like that. And I thought maybe it's because God is taking good people earlier, so because they have no use here on earth. I mean, there's no reason for them if they have accomplished some sort of his goal, some sort of his mission here on earth. If they've done enough, they are being taken away to be closer to him. I don't know if it makes any sense, but I mean, they're taken to the better world. And of course it is, I think, much better to be around God than to be around people than to be around people who are uh, who are not good, in particular, who are not really wishing you good, and who are kind of corrupted and for some reason not being kind to each other and trying to make uh, and they behaving the way that only benefits them, so that they can get as much benefits from whatever they're doing, from whatever they're taking part in. And it's just weird for me. I do not understand this. Why would you? I really don't get it. Why would a person wish any evil, any bad for other person if they don't know anybody, or if they are colleagues, or if the one is having something more of something than the other, and they become envious of him, and they wish them bad luck and whatnot, and they want to take away what he has. And I just don't understand why would anyone do bad for anybody. I don't know how to put it into words, but I mean, when you do good things, people like when you're kind to them. And so when you're kind to people, they are usually kind towards you too. They respond with the same thing. And so when you do bad to people, when you're shouting on them, calling them names, I don't know, like any. I'm not talking of you, of course, but I mean generally, like that's not even benefiting for you if you're talking in that sense. There's no benefits in talking bad to people, because then they won't be talking good to you. They won't be coming to you, they won't be helping you, stuff like that. So I don't know, that just really makes me want to just leave the country, leave the society behind, just get close with my people, take them with me, and just leave to some distant valley, like to some distant countryside, and just be there at peace with them and with the nature, with the animals. And so let's actually read the first one. I don't think there is need to reading others, but let's read. I have this. There are like four of them, so let's eventually read all of them today or tonight. But let's read the first one more time. Happy are those who reject the advice of evil men, who do not follow the example of sinners, or join those who have no use for God. Instead, they find joy in obeying the law of the Lord, and they study it day and night. They are like trees that grow beside a stream, and bear fruit at the right time, and whose leaves do not dry up. They succeed in everything they do. But evil men are not like this at all. They are like straw in that the wind blows away. Sinners will be condemned. I don't actually know what condemned means. At least I cannot clearly define the word, but I mean, maybe it's like damned, maybe it's like they will be judged, justly for what they have done. Sinners will be condemned by God and kept apart from God's own people. So that's, I guess, what I was kind of talking about. So God's people will be close to God, and sinners and whatnot, and evil people will stay there to, yes, to build, maybe to build this world, maybe to, but generally to be around the same evil people. The righteous are guided and protected by the Lord, but the evil are on the way to their doom. Yeah. Now the second one, titled God's Chosen King. Why do the nations plan rebellion? Why do people make their useless plots? Their king revolt, their rulers plot together against the Lord and against the king he chose. Let us free ourselves from their rule, they say. Let us throw off their control. From his throne in heaven the Lord laughs and mocks their feeble plans. Then he warns, them in anger and terrifies them with his fury. On Zion, my sacred hill, he says, I have installed my king. I will announce, says the king, what the Lord has declared. He said to me, You are my son. Today I have become your father. Ask, and I will give you all the nations. The whole earth will be yours. You will break them with an iron rod. You will shatter them in pieces like a clay pot. Now listen to this warning, you kings. Learn this lesson, you rulers of the world. Serve the Lord with fear. Tremble and bow down to him, or else his anger will be quickly aroused, and you will suddenly die. Happy are all who go to him for protection. Oh, that's an unusual one to. When I was a kid, I always heard that there is actually no bad words and not any sort of violence mentioned in the Bible. I don't know what was the case, but I mean, there is certainly, like in the old taste, in the old, how do you pronounce? What something fell off. My bookmark. The old, what is the word for the I forgot. How do you say it? The Old Testament, Old Testament. I don't remember how to pronounce it correctly. Sorry. And there are those beautiful pictures inside this version. Just some small illustrations. And the pages are so thin. Look at this. You can see it, but you see there's this minimalistic drawing of some person thanking the sun, thanking the skies. And then there's some people over there, but you can see it, whatever. I don't actually get this second one, God's Chosen King. I think it's these psalms, I think has been written throughout the many years by different people, of course. So this is an arrangement of different songs from different times. Yes, it is said here, composed by different authors over a long period of time. These hymns and prayers were collected and used by people of Israel in their worship, and eventually the collection was included in their scriptures. So I think it's, I don't know. Let's read this. Let's skip the morning prayer for now, but let's move on to the next to the next one that goes right after it. Evening prayer for help. Evening prayer for help. Answer me when I pray, O God, my defender. When I was in trouble, you helped me. Be kind to me now and hear my prayer. How long will you people insult me? How long will you love what is worthless and go after what is false? Remember that the Lord has chosen the righteous for his own, and he hears me when I call to him. Tremble with fear and stop sinning. Think deeply about this. When you lie in silence on your own beds, offer the right sacrifices to the Lord and put your trust in him. There are many who pray, give us more blessings, O Lord. Look on us with kindness. But the joy that you have given me is more than they will ever than they will ever have with all their corn and wine. When I lie down, I go to sleep in peace. You alone, O Lord, keep me perfectly safe. That's actually a great one. There's some rhythm to it. Like, not only it's a great one in terms of the meaning it has, but I mean it's a great one. It just sounds, it has its own rhythm, and it has some rhymes, I think, to it. There are many who pray, give us more blessings, O Lord. Look on us with kindness, but the joy that you have given me is more than they will ever have with all their corn and wine. That's just beautiful, you know. When I lie down and go to sleep in peace, you alone, O Lord, keep me perfectly safe. Yeah, that's just great. That certainly calmed me down for today, for tonight. And because I've been reading, I feel more sleepy than I felt uh, when I felt the urge, to grab the book. But I mean, I do kind of want to do this thing when I go outside and read to you. But maybe we'll just stick to just reading. So I'll go and read maybe by myself, and then find the ones that I kind of liked and that make sense to me, and I'll read them to you, maybe before bed or stuff like that. Maybe whenever I feel like it. I don't want to give any promises here because I have my university classes, in the mornings. Then I come back home, I eat, I rest a bit, and then I go and work until the very evening, and I come back home and I just maybe do some homework, maybe read, maybe play some games, maybe watch something, and then go to bed. So that's the days for me. I am working I'm saving some money for a trip to China, because my lady is in China now, in some university here, and so I'm saving some money, working so that I can go and have a little trip to China somewhere in the end, not somewhere, but like in the end of November. But I do have, you know, I do not have any classes on Tuesdays. So, but again, I don't want to make any promises. But maybe, just maybe, I will be making some videos on the Mondays nights, and maybe on Tuesdays. I kind of want to come back to just posting something somewhat consistently, so that, because I've been doing just that for 2 years. I don't know for how long I've been recording videos, but then the last one was like during summer when I was smoking some pipe and recording it. So yeah, I do enjoy, reading and reading something to someone. So yeah, we'll see, man. I hope you're having a good day, a good night, or whatever time it is now for you. I hope everything is alright for you. If not, I guess that's what kind of helps. Even just reading it. I can't really say that I'm at least anymore, but not even if not anymore, just for now. I'm not really a big believer, but I mean, it still has its effect on me. Just I don't know, whenever I just open the Bible and I just read it, whatever comes to mind, like whatever it is, like for tonight. But again, I've never felt this strong urge to just grab a book, grab the Bible and read it. So maybe this was some sort of a call, and maybe this is some sort of a call for you if you're watching this. So yeah, whatever it is, the Old Testament, the new one, the Matthew. At least that's this. I think the Matthew. No, the last thing I was reading, as I remember, it was the Ecclesiastes or Ecclesiastes, whatever. Yeah, Ecclesiastes. But it's, I think, one of, if not the most depressing book in the Bible. But it is the one that is really resembling. That's really like, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm like for the last 2 years. The Ecclesiastes is basically the book about, like, but I only found out about the book after I started feeling the way, a bit existential and whatnot. So yeah, maybe go ahead and start with it, even though it's not, the happiest. Let's put it this way, but it's still about God. So either way, as I've said in one of my old videos, this is the best self-improvement book, most likely, if not, but it's still the one that calms you down, that may, be a sort of a meditation for you for the night. So again, hope you're doing well, man. Sorry for talking, but I mean, that's what the videos are for. And yeah, man, God bless you. Hope you're doing well. And I see you in the next one. Again, no promises, but we'll see. Peace. Take care.